This might be the single most impressive run of 2026 in Watcher of Realms, and we're only just over 2 months into the year. A huge shout out to the truly incredible content creator Almighty Sword, who made this 324 strategy, which actually can be used as a guide if you have these units and you're willing to put in the work. It's one of the cleanest endgame strategies ever, full stop. So I want to break it down for you. I've gone back and forth with Almighty Sword a lot. He gave me his permission to make this video. He saw this video before I'm sharing it with you, so do not worry, guys. I'll show you a little correspondence we had, which he also gave me permission to share with you guys. But I really wanted to give him his flowers, and I wanted to make sure this truly incredible strategy was seen by as many people as possible. And I think Almighty Sword feels the exact same way. Not just because he wants views, not just because I want views, but because this is the essence of Watcher of Realms right here. What he did here is why I fell in love with the game. When I started playing, before I'd been a content creator forever and I'd made all these guides and everyone else had made all these guides and the game had been out for years, this is what it felt like almost every day. You just had to figure this stuff out yourself, do your best, and solve the puzzle. And no one is solving puzzles right now in Watcher of Realms as cleanly as Almighty Sword. So look at this, stupidly easy Liam plus A1 Mina strategy. He uses no ancient heroes. He uses no other exclusive heroes besides Mina. It is truly remarkable. Yes, you do need Mina. Yes, she needs A1. Yes, you need Beelzebub A3. But hey, he's beating 324 without any of the main things everyone else uses. No Dia-Chan, no Bonded Silas, no Lady Alex, no Yovar. It's truly remarkable, and I cannot wait to show you guys. Let me pop open our correspondence very quickly, and then we're gonna get right into the run, because this run is gonna speak for itself. I reached out, we went back and forth for a while, and then I said, let me know if you wanna come on the channel and show off and discuss this strat with me. No worries if not, congrats on the awesome video. Before that, I was complimenting him on how genius this strategy is, and it really is incredible. I can't wait for you guys to see. Then he said, would love to, but I don't have time to come to the channel right now. I don't even have the time for myself since the baby. Congratulations to Almighty Sword and his family. Then he says, I reduced my uploads as well too, but guys, if you appreciate what he's done and what he's gonna continue to do, please do yourself a favor and do the community a favor and go subscribe to his channel. He does not even have 1,000 subscribers yet. And my God, he should have 2,000 subscribers. He should have 10,000 subscribers. I cannot recommend this channel enough. He doesn't post all the time, but he posts bangers only. Truly innovative, unique strategies. This guy is thinking outside of the box and solving these puzzles in the coolest way possible. I would really love if all of you could go to this channel. Let me unsubscribe so I can show you what to do. Go to this channel, subscribe, turn on all notifications, and support this creator. He is an up-and-coming creator who's doing the coolest stuff right now in the game, and he deserves more attention. He deserves his flowers, and I want to see more strategies. And you'll see in a second, he says he's gonna make more if you guys want more, and you keep giving him the good comments and stuff. So he did say you can always reference my video though if you decide to talk about it. Wouldn't mind the views. Let's get him some more views. I'll link the original video in the description. Then I said, would you mind me showing the video and reacting to it then? Of course, I will give you a big shout out and link your channel and original video. He said, sure, man, that would be fun. That would make me want to make more crazy strategies, LOL. So if you like it, like this video, like his video, subscribe to his channel, and then he's gonna cook up some more genius stuff for us to enjoy and try out. Then I asked if I had his permission to share our correspondence in the video, and I told him I'd let him watch it first, and this is what he said. I understand, it's okay, will the screenshots be shown in the video? I said, yeah, just a couple. I will show you before I post if you like. He said, all right. And then finally, to bring it home, I asked him, you can see up there, if there's anything you want me to say, let me know. And he said, maybe just a thank you to everyone who's looking forward to his strategies. So Almighty Sword says, thank you that you guys are enjoying it so much and look forward to more. And then, very cool, and I know this feeling well, oh, and they can leave a comment too. It's fun reading them and it makes me want to make more. So if you guys comment, if you like his videos, if you subscribe, he's going to be more motivated to make more crazy videos. So please make sure to subscribe, make sure to like. Let me re-like the video there. Let's get into it. Look at some of these comments though. I love this one. I need you to strategize my whole life, from Pietro Rotondano. The Almighty strikes again. WTF, now I can beat it. And some people have beaten it with this strategy. So let's move into the guide portion of this. Almighty Sword does really cool stuff where he just lets the content and the run speak for itself. I'm obviously the yapper of realms, so I will explain what he's doing as we go. A couple key things to point out. There are certain requirements to make this work. You need Lady Mina at A1, and you're going to want her in Wicked Vengeance on the left side. And then for the right side, you want your absolute best gear with 3 crit damage main stats. He's using Soulbound Arcana. You definitely could also use Hell's Lament. The key thing is, though, you're going to want to see almost 1,000,000 damage per hit. That is going to be the threshold to clock when she's ulting to know if you have a good enough build. So that's a great little tip. You want to see 900,000 damage per hit. That's the only real gear check. The other check is an Awakenings check. You're gonna need A3 Beelzebub. The way he uses Beelzebub is tremendous and very, very strategic. He's really using Beelzebub for his crowd control, his slows, and most importantly, his vortex, where he pulls enemy units in. That's gonna be very clear when you see it in a second. He's not really there for the inspiration, though he does help with that a bit, obviously. He's gonna help with Mina, he's gonna help with Araka. You'll see that in a moment. Now, some other key things. Lady Mina is drawing attack through her passive from the unit on your team with the highest attack. That's going to be Neza, and Neza completely jacks up his attack by 60% when he's ulting. So you're going to want to make sure Neza is still ulting or just finishing his ult, but it's not over yet when you trigger Lady Mina's ult, so she's drawing enough attack. And here's a great tip. You want to delay his initial ult. You can count 4 to 5 hits from Araka before you trigger with him and get it going. So finally, Alora's used on the right side. You could use Ruin Hollow. I wonder if a really, really good hot sit would work. Probably the invisibility would get dicey, but those two are gonna be great. This is an A4 Alora, so it's not even A5. Obviously it is High Awakening. And yeah, they really just need to kill one of the mobs. Finally, he's using Leia. Leia's giving Beelzebub even more rage. This Beelzebub is at A3, so he gets more rage from his basic attacks. And he's in the Nightmare Samsara, but he still is going to need Ireless's natural passive regeneration, or maybe I'm sure you could use Elowen as well. And then you're going to need Leia for an extra boost. So without further ado, let's get into the run. Thanks for your patience through this giant intro, but I wanted to make sure to explain everything and give Almighty Sword as much hype as possible. So we'll touch on it again at the end, but please subscribe to his channel and check out the original too. It's something that's beautiful to behold just in silence and see how it's done. So let's begin. He's going to place Dallin there in the middle. Dallin is going to be there for cost generation. She's the best cost generator in the game, outside of Kayn, I guess, but we're not using any ancient exclusives. When it comes to generating costs where you don't need rage, hers is time-based, so she's going to be the choice here over Narvi or Cyrene. Now we're coming in with Neza. He's placing Neza in the middle. This is pretty clutch because remember, Neza has that form of his attack that bounces around. That is going to be very essential as we bounce around and hit all of these units that are getting spawned in the middle. So he's not going to ult right away. We're going to place Araka, and this is where the timing comes in. That's 2 hits from Araka, 3, 4, right before 4. That's where he's ulting with Neza. And you can see we're going to start dealing damage to these summons in the middle. Next up, he is getting ready, letting some costs build. And now once he gets to 18 cost, he is placing Ireless. Ireless is there for heals, obviously, some death saves, but really that map-wide passive regeneration, 1% for everyone, plus the 2% for people getting healed. He's waiting for more cost. As soon as we get that cost regen, you saw that big burst in cost, it just jumped right up. That was Dallin's passive triggering, her Rebel auto passive. He's getting Beelzebub placed, and you can see he's not pointing Beelzebub forward. Watch this again. I just rewound. Look at this. Pointing him to the right. Now, Beelzebub consistently is going to take these guys, the single big unit who spawns from the middle, and any stragglers from the top right. He's going to take them with his ultimate when that's triggered and use a vortex to pull them in towards him, and most importantly, towards Lady Mina, who's going to go here. This is going to ensure she's able to kill all of them, and he's pulling them away from the portal, right? So they actually can't enter. And it's such a creative use of that ultimate. Now Mina's getting placed to the right there, so you can see Mina and Araka are the only DPS units in Beelzebub's range. I will say, when he is doing his ult and he's giving the inspiration, He will be improving the healing of Ireless as well, but you'll see his key thing is slowing them down with his crowd control, with his slows, and then that vortex, which is going to be really fun to watch. Now we're going to have an uncommon unit coming soon. This is the first very creative use of Mina and Beelzebub. He just triggered the ult with Beelzebub. This guy looks like we stand no chance he's going to make it through, but remember, Lady Mina, let me actually go into my game now so I can show you. Lady Mina's ultimate is actually like a circle, like this radius of damage around her. So if we go to Lady Mina right here, you'll see this is her ult range. It's a 2-tile radius in all directions, so she's hitting units in front of her, like that guy coming down from the middle, but also units behind her. And this is very cool to see. So watch this now. We're ulting with Beelzebub. Look at that vortex. He's pulling these guys in. And also, something you got to note, Lady Mina is putting out a mobilized state, which is essentially a full 100% slow. So it makes them immobile. They cannot move. It's a stun, but it's so long. For this entire duration, all 12 seconds, the units are just stuck in place. So even if they're right about to reach a portal, if they're in her range, they're just getting stuck, and then they're taking damage every 2 seconds. And that's going to last 12 seconds, so it's 6 big ticks of damage. Let's look at that damage right now. Look at those hits. It's coming in about 930,000, 903 there, 934, 934. And there you go. That guy who's coming down from the back, he is dead, and we're doing a great job here. I should say, I said no exclusive units besides Mina. We do have one limited unit, and that's from the Dracula collab. He's using Van Helsing. I do think if you had a very strong Nyx or a very strong Kai, they could work. More likely Nyx, but Van Helsing, for how he's going to use him, he's the strongest, so if you've got him, use him as your AoE DPS on the left side. What Almighty Sword does is actually, once he deals with these guys here, he's going to cycle Van Helsing off of the map, so you do want a unit who can deal with everything as quickly as possible. And Van Helsing is going to be that guy. I will say there's also a bit of luck or, repeated chances for trial and error for it to work out perfectly with your left side AoE unit because, and let's go into a view of Gear Aid 3 back in my game now, starting at stage 22 and then repeating for 23 and 24, there's an improved kind of damage negative move that the boss can do to us. So if we look at the Chthonic Enchantress, she gets this move starting at stage 22 right here, Ascend 2. After casting this skill, her basic attack's going to target 3 random enemies at the same time and inflict 5 seconds of continuous damage. So let's go back to the run. Almighty Sword has no healer here helping out with Van Helsing. So we need to get good RNG that he's not one of the 3 units getting targeted with those Ascend 2 basics. But if you do it enough times, if you get really good at the strat, you're going to have to do it over and over anyway to master it. You'll have runs where he doesn't get targeted. But that's pretty key to consider, right? Some things just luck-wise are going to have to line up. There we go. By the way, Liam is placed down. The way you're going to want to build Liam is as tanky as you can with just a ton of rage regen and then go for some speed. So you can see here, he says high rage regen and tanky Mana Spring set for Liam. We'll see that build at the end. Remember, Mana Spring is going to give you a little extra rage every second. That's the rage regen auto. Pretty essential because you want him cycling that ult as quickly as possible. He is putting out his signature debuff. Let's go to Liam right now. Sorry, we have to keep hopping back and forth, but I want to make sure everyone understands this. And if you want to watch the run clean, you should. It's linked in the description. Go, watch it, like it, support Almighty Sword. You've got to do that. You can see Liam here has his signature effect, Neurotoxin. This is true damage over time, scaling off of the target's max HP. Many moons ago, they nerfed poison. This is what poison used to be. Now poison is magic damage over time, scaling off of the caster's attack. Liam is the only one who has that old version where it's actually true damage scaling off of the target's HP. Kind of the classic version of poison from most RPGs. So Liam is going to help in such a big way to kill this boss, and he does such a good job of making the strategy accessible because he's just a totally free-to-play base 2-star unit. But he's only putting out that Neurotoxin when he's ulting, so you want him ulting as much as possible. Right there, we're picking up Dallin, so we can get another deployable unit, and this point in the fight, this is where Almighty Sword is placing Alora. You can see she stays invisible until she ults. Also, if you have her exclusive bangle, which you're going to need, that will keep her invisible even when she ults, so then she can't be targeted. Very key there. You can also use Ruin Hollow. Hopefully we get more options in the future. Ulting now with Van Helsing, and you'll see how quickly he can deal with this left side. He's just pretty special like that. He's really taking care of that like it's nothing. Look how huge those hits are. So as these guys start coming down to get repositioned, they're already about to die. And Helsing's nearly has them. Just leaning into the basic attacks there with Allura. And then as soon as these guys are dead, he's picking up Van Helsing and getting ready with Leia. Now, it might look like Beelzebub's not in Leia's range, but remember, when Leia ults, she gets that Diao Chan Aelin range. So actually, he is good to go. Allura, she's putting out good damage, but it's not crazy, right? 155k is not that much. But she doesn't need to get the kill all by herself. That's kind of why this is so accessible. So she gets this guy to about half health. Beelzebub's ready to the ult. Lady Mina's ready to the ult. As soon as this enemy unit in the middle is coming down past Allura, Almighty Sword is triggering the ultimate there with Beelzebub. So you'll see, putting out a lot of slows. The inspiration is up. Then he's ulting with Mina. The Vortex pulls it in, and easily that kill is done with Mina. Now, also, as soon as that unit passed down, let's actually rewind. That is when he chose to trigger Allura to make sure all this damage is focusing on these guys over here. That also is one instance of using Lady Mina outside of Neza's ult. Doesn't really matter there for just, picking off that last unit, since Allura took off half the health, and those ticks from Mina are so major. See the damage here with Allura. He's targeting that front guy the most. Just need to get that picked off. Still half an ult left. It's looking pretty good. You can also see the health absolutely plummeting for the boss. That's because we've got the neurotoxin on the boss, and Liam is cycling through it very quickly, just shredding through the box's HP. You can also see we have 10 stacks of poison. That's coming from Araka. It's not nothing. Araka's damage is pretty good for this, but it's Liam who you'll see is just shredding through the boss. That's why it's ticking down so fast. Allura is able to get the one kill she needed there. She's almost going to get another. And now you'll see why we need Leia, why we need Beelzebub A3, why Beelzebub needs to be in a Nightmare Samsara for extra rage instead of like a Tear of Twilight, for example. I'll actually go back and show you. There's Beelzebub finishing the ult, and you'll see Almighty Sword is going to trigger Leia. That gives 10% rage immediately to all the allies in range, and then there's a period of 2% rage per second. So this way, when he finishes the ult, he's not just getting the rage he was getting passively from Ireless, but also that big boost from Leia. He's already at like over 2/3 rage, because we're going to need him in a second. So these two guys in the front, the first guy in the middle died of the 4, but the two guys on the side, they're close to death. The guy in the back is like untouched. So we are going to need Beelzebub to come to the rescue, and we're going to need Mina to do some major damage. Beelzebub, his ult is ready. Going to come in just a second. Guys are getting close to the portal. He ults. The inspiration is up, and the vortex is coming. Look at that. He draws them in with that vortex. Now Mina has the time, right? Because of the slows, because of the vortex pulling them back, to have enough rage to trigger her ult. She's going to trigger her ult, and now we're going to get all 6 hits, right? Because it's a hit every 2 seconds for the 12 seconds, and for all 12 seconds, those guys are immobilized. They are stuck there. So you can see 1.1 million. This Mina build is crazy. And the boss now is almost dead. These guys are starting to come out, so we got to get ready with Van Helsing. There, Araka's picked up. She's not needed anymore. Liam, Neza, Araka, they've killed the boss at this point. You need to pick up, so there's another deployable unit. Almighty Sword is going to place Van Helsing right here. He's in an Ichor Chalice, by the way, too, in case he does get those hits. It's really as long as he's not hit like twice in a row, he's okay. But look at that. He's healing right back up. At least enough to counteract the fact that he did just get hit there, right? And he is taking those 5 seconds of damage over time. Now he ults. He's going to be able to heal up a lot more. Down goes the boss. There's a pickup of Liam. Liam did his job. He killed the boss. He really did. Get ready and place Dallin. Dallin, I'm almost sure, is in a morale set, so that's going to be a little bit more damage. Allura doing a good job on the right side now, taking care of the guy in the middle. You will see an interesting thing on the left in just a second. As this guy in the middle passes, ulting with Beelzebub, and then once that guy's under, ulting with Allura, that Beelzebub Vortex draws him in, ult with Mina, he's gone. And now this is a tricky thing here on the left. We're going to get another, quick ult from Leia to get that rage back for everybody, but mostly Beelzebub, right? That's the key. But you'll see, these guys are about to start moving, and Van Helsing needs to kill them. So this is a tricky thing. This is how you have to finesse it at the end. Just as that ult's finishing from Alora, she gets the kill of the front unit. And now you'll see he's almost killed 4 out of the 5, but one of those guys is just good to go. There's the ult with Van Helsing. Now these guys are moving, and this is where you got to finesse it. Let's do a 0.8 speed so you can see it better. These guys are about to enter, but there's Beelzebub coming through. Van Helsing does die before he can kill the last unit, but just as Araka is ready, and Araka is going to be able to finish this off. So that's that little touch of finesse on the left. This looks like the run's about to fall apart, but that's what Beelzebub's for. Watch this. Right as these guys are going to enter, Araka's placed. The Vortex is coming. The Putrid Flies are there, and boom, suck him away from the portal at that last second. It's pretty beautiful to see. Araka's taking that unit out. I will say there's a little bit of luck with Araka there with her special web stun move, right? Her special form of crowd control. That gives her the time she needs to pick this off. The last unit, ult with Mina, freeze him in place. You can see that Mina radius, and then boom, delete. Araka takes care of it on the left. And if that's not an absolutely beautiful run, I don't know what is. I really don't. I mean, that is some top tier puzzle solving, right? This is really thinking outside the box, and it absolutely needs to be applauded. And on top of just enjoyed as a beautiful strategy, at the end of the day, people have already replicated it. He did an original version of this video. That's actually when I originally reached out, which was this one right here. Very impressive. But as you can see, he used Count Dracula, who's also very exclusive and an ancient. So that just kind of made it less approachable. And the gear he used there was definitely one notch up. So what's so cool here is he took out Dracula, put in Liam, and he actually scaled the gear back a little bit. So it became a very doable, accessible thing. So that's why, you know, this was exciting, and then this was mind-blowing how that was done. So this actually is something you guys can go ahead and do. The key takeaway here is, yes, Nezah's amazing. It's insane. What a god. Van Helsing, best AoE piercer in the game. Araka, solid amount of damage. She's got that AoE, right? Alora, you can't really see, but it's 59 million. Does he scroll down? Let's see. There you go, 59.7. Mina with 41.9, 42. It's less because she's just, you know, picking off the stragglers. But that Liam is huge, right? 62.3, and almost all that damage is just ticking the boss down. And that's kind of how the whole thing is able to happen. It's a beautiful run. I will say, as I'm thinking about it, I've watched it a few times, but maybe Van Helsing's able to heal himself back up fast enough that you actually don't need to rely on RNG. We'll do a little text overlay when I originally mentioned that. All in all, it's a beautiful run. Definitely, if you want to do it, you're going to need the A1 Mina. You're going to need the A3 Beelzebub. If you don't know, Beelzebub's A3 allows him to gain, I'm going to pull him up for you right now. It allows him to gain extra rage off of his basic attacks. So he's getting a 2% rage restore whenever he deals damage from a basic attack. You're not going to be able to cycle fast enough without it. Aside from that, if you can just get a crazy build on Mina, and then you've got good enough gear, which you will, because you already beat 323 if you got here, right? Certainly, you're in the 22 plus range. Pretty awesome, and it's pretty doable. Okay, so he's going to very quickly show the builds now. I'm going to let you guys, if you want to inspect it with a lot of scrutiny and really study it, please go watch his video. But let's go through it now. The Araka is A3. That allowed her to deal more damage, right? Because she was putting out that acute poisoning, so her poisons were worth more. She's in a Cataclysm set. She's crit cap, crit damage is high, attack's great, speed's good. It's just like a good endgame build. It's not a crazy build, just a good build. Let's skip ahead. We got Liam here. This is a key build, so we're going to spend a second on it. That Mana Spring set's pretty essential, so he can cycle his ult as quickly as possible. He's got a pretty cheap ult. So you still want it happening super frequently. Rage regen is very high. Attack speed's good, not crazy, but he's also tanky, and that's something to note. He's got the Ichor Chalice as well to keep himself alive. Let's just rewind a little. I want you to see the HP. Liam is very low base HP. Oh, we got to wait till it scrolls up. There you go, 27.8K. Getting him that high with his low base HP is definitely an accomplishment while still leaning so heavily into these other stats. But you can see, get that tankiness, get the Ichor Chalice for healing, get the Rage Regen up, decent amount of attack speed, combine that with a Mana Spring, and that is like all you need. It might sound like a lot, but it's just, he's the only one using this kind of gear, so just find the best of it on your account and get it done. Just make sure you have those Rage Regen rolls. If you use my gear code, I have controls for Mana Spring gear like this, so you'll get some. There are the pieces. They're pretty juicy, but you probably can make it, right? If you're this deep into the game, because you just need the one good Mana Spring set and then one little tanky set with some Rage Regen. Very, very nice stuff. Let's go to the next now. This is going to be Van Helsing. Just a really good DPS build. Attack's good, not truly insane, but definitely good. crit rate, well over cap. He almost could ditch crit on one piece. Crit damage is phenomenal. Attack speed is great. No extra rage regen. He's going to get it all done in one ult. Ichor Chalice for those clutch little heals when he gets targeted. Next up, we've got Mina. You can see that crit damage is absolutely through the roof. You can kind of ignore the attack. You don't want nothing. You can kind of ignore it because she's drawing so much attack from Neza. He's tanky enough that she can survive any hits. Attack speed really doesn't matter. It's just for ult cycling, basically, which it will help with too, especially if you have her exclusive artifact, which you should if you got her and you were around for that event. But that crit damage is enormous. She's getting the attack from Neza. Her ultimate is dealing damage by time, not by her speed, right? It's just happening every 2 seconds. So she'll cycle fast enough. Beelzebub you need to worry about. Just get that crit damage to the moon, and like he says down here, if you're getting 900k per hit, you're going to be good to go. And he was higher than that. He was like, the lowest he was at was like 903k, consistently 930, 950, and then we saw those like 1.1 millions later on in the fight. Definitely you're going to want Wicked Vengeance on the left. I will say, cool thing here, he's using this, which is nuts, an unfortunate skull that's not maxed out. I think he's leaning on this for the crit damage roll, and it's also worth mentioning she's getting attack from elsewhere, so this damage multiplier is going to be very, very effective in this case, since she's getting enough damage that she's drawing from Neza with the passive. But the fact that this isn't even promo 5 is noteworthy, right? Leaving 2% extra AoE damage on the floor, right? Because that would go up to 35%, and also, or leaving it on the table, also leaving the base stat increase for the HP and the attack. He's doing an incredible run and not even fully min-maxing everything. Great gear though, right? Big crit damage roll, nice attack, nice crit rate. We'll take the tankiness. We don't need extra speed. Let's look at that breastplate. Probably one of the best breastplates on his account, especially when you want the tankiness. Huge attack bonus roll, nice crit rate, excellent crit damage. I will say he has so much crit rate, it's possible he could have ditched crit rate on a piece and picked up some extra stats. He probably could have got it done in 4. Here's a crit damage main stat. You want crit damage main stat for all of this. You want Soulbound Arcana or you want Hell's Lament. Good attack bonus, good HP. Here's a crit damage piece. He's got the little Dark Fell on it as well. Again, some extra tankiness. Mina has very low base attack, so leaning into that tankiness is pretty clutch. Her base attack is like under 9,000, and there's another great crit damage main stat piece. One reason you might be using Soulbound Arcana over Hell's Lament, because in a vacuum, Hell's Lament should be slightly better, is just because you might have better crit damage main stat pieces on the right side for Soulbound Arcana compared to your Hell's Lament. That's the last super key build. There's Beelzebub. You want some tankiness, you want some attack, but the key thing, as you see, you want him very fast with some nice rage regen so he can cycle, and then that Nightmare Samsara is pretty clutch, right? Every 5 basics, he's getting that rage boost, and you need to cycle quickly. For Leia, she's mostly here just to get that ult off. She'll do some healing, she'll do the damage boost as well, right? But she's got some rage, she's got very high attack speed. You want that ult coming around to make sure when Beelzebub needs it, she can trigger it, and she's going to give that rage boost. It's good for everyone, but especially for him, because that's going to keep the whole run together. Dallin, like I said, she's in that morale set for a little extra damage. Just some tankiness so she doesn't die. Actually, just over 60k, 60,016 HP on Dallin is very, very good. Ireless, just being a healer, right? It's a great healer build, leaning heavily into the attack speed. There you go, 663. Excellent attack. She's got high base attack, so it's not hard. Leaning into some HP for tankiness as well, and then some rage regen. She's got an auto ult, so, you know, she'll be spamming it. Here is the Neza build. Obviously, this is going to be a very good build. He's kind of the chief DPS here for the middle, outside of Liam killing the boss. He's dealing with all the little minions. Tanky, that's not hard. He's a fighter. Very high attack, great attack speed, crit capped, great crit damage. No extra rage regen. Getting rage from Ireless, getting rage from Leia. That's all working. Maxed out exclusive with some excellent rolls. Some really, really good gear here. And yeah, like I said, you can go to the video and really study these if you want. Here's Alora. The clutch thing is going to be this Cataclysm set that she's got the exclusive bangle. She's got the exclusive ring. That bangle's going to keep her invisible. Very good. Nice crit damage, excellent attack, good attack speed. No extra rage regen, doesn't need it. And then she's got that Watchguard exclusive ring, 8% extra damage. It's the same as the Starpiercer one because that's 8% extra damage to airborne units. Everyone in this fight is airborne, so as long as you got one or the other, get her in the Cataclysm because she needs it for her bangle, obviously, right? You need this. After casting the ultimate, invisibility is no longer removed. Also, while she's invisible, which she always is now because it can't be removed, her attack is increased, so just helping with everything, and that'll get done. So if you want to study these builds, please go do it. I really recommend, just so you can enjoy it as a lover of this game, which I'm assuming you are if you watch this whole video. I'm not faking this. This was a very exciting thing for me to watch, and it was so entertaining, right? It's just like a work of art. So go watch it. It's linked in the description. Take a moment, do yourself a favor, do the community a favor. Drop a comment on his video. You can drop a comment on this one, supporting him too, and really saying how much you appreciate this kind of stuff. Subscribe, turn on that all notifications bell, and please, we need to get him to at least 1,200 subscribers, right? I would love to see this at like 2,000, but I mean, it's unacceptable that content this good and this thoughtful, these kind of strategies are being overlooked by some. I will say, shout out to these two videos for absolutely blowing up. The videos do get views, but I mean, this is just a real accomplishment in the space. So congratulations, Almighty Sword. It was great to collaborate with you on this one virtually. Maybe one day we can get you on the channel. And thank you guys so much for watching. Share it with your mother. I've been Fastidious, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.